Have you ever felt like you're doing everything you're supposed to? Good job, steady paycheck, but you're just not really getting ahead? Well, Robert Kiyosaki's Rich Dad, Poor Dad says that's because most of us are playing the money game with the wrong rulebook. This is a book that has totally turned how millions of people think about wealth upside down. And today, we're going to break down its most powerful and, controversial lessons. And this right here, this just nails the core idea of the whole book. On one side, you've got the advice we've all heard a million times: get a good job, be a loyal employee. But on the other side, a completely different way of thinking. Don't just work for the company. Figure out how to buy the company. This isn't just two different paths. It's a choice between being a piece of the machine or owning the whole darn thing.
So, who are these two dads anyway? Well, Kiyosaki presents them as his two main father figures, each one showing him a powerful but totally opposite way to live.
Okay, so this is where the book really starts to mess with your expectations. You've got Poor Dad, that's Kiyosaki's actual father. Super smart guy, PhD, stable government job. By any normal standard, he was a success. But he was always stressed about money. And then you have Rich Dad, who didn't even make it past the 8th grade, but he just got how money works. That massive contrast is what the entire book is built on. And their beliefs about money itself? Well, they couldn't be more different. Poor Dad always said that the love of money is the root of all evil, like it was something to be suspicious of. Rich Dad just flipped it right around. He said the lack of money is the root of all evil, because he saw it as a tool for freedom, for options. And that one single belief pretty much dictated their entire lives. Now this is one of the most powerful takeaways from the entire book. Poor Dad's go-to phrase was, "I can't afford it." And when you say that, it's like a switch flips off in your brain. End of story. But Rich Dad taught him to ask a question instead. How can I afford it? Just that simple change forces your brain to get creative, to look for solutions instead of shutting down. It's the difference between hitting a mental brick wall and getting a mental workout. So you can see how these two different ways of thinking lead to completely different places. For most people, that poor dad mindset leads them straight into a trap, one that Kiyosaki famously named the rat race. So what exactly keeps people stuck in this trap? Well, Rich Dad's theory is that it isn't about how smart you are. It's about two of our most basic emotions, fear and greed. Think about it. The fear of not being able to pay your bills gets you out of bed and to work. Then you get that paycheck and greed or desire kicks in, making you think about all the cool stuff you can buy. That emotional push and pull is what fuels the whole cycle. And here's what that looks like in real life. First, the fear of being broke pushes you to work harder. Then the paycheck arrives and sweet relief. But that relief quickly turns into wanting more. A newer phone, a nicer vacation, so you spend. But now your monthly expenses are higher. And just like that, the fear comes rushing back because you've got to cover these new, bigger bills. And the cycle starts all over again. And that, my friends, is the rat race. It's working your whole life, running faster and faster on that hamster wheel, but you never actually seem to get anywhere. Your entire life is just dictated by the next paycheck. So the big question is, how do you get out? How do you break the cycle? Well, Rich Dad's entire philosophy really comes down to one incredibly simple but absolutely game-changing rule. And before I tell you what it is, just think about that for a second. If you had to boil down all financial advice into just one core principle, what would you say it is? This is it. Seriously, forget all the complicated definitions you've heard. According to Rich Dad, an asset is simply something that puts money in your pocket. That's it. It makes you money whether you're actively working or not. It's really that simple. And the opposite, of course, is a liability. It's anything that takes money out of your pocket. This distinction is everything. The rich focus their lives on buying assets. Pretty much everyone else spends their life buying liabilities. Okay, so this leads us to the next big step. Kiyosaki calls it minding your own business. And what he means by that is simply this. You have to focus your energy and your money on building up your personal column of assets. Just take a look at the typical cash flow pattern. For most of us, money comes in from our job, and then whoosh, it goes right back out to pay for taxes, the mortgage, a car loan, credit card bills, all the expenses. The money barely has time to say hello before it says goodbye. It's like a financial revolving door. Now, check out the cash flow of the rich. See the difference? Their primary focus isn't the salary from their job, it's the asset column. They own things like real estate, stocks, or intellectual property that generate income all by themselves. That income from their assets is what pays for their expenses. It's not a revolving door, it's a cycle that actually builds on itself.
And this quote from the book just ties it all together perfectly. This is the big trap. The middle class buys things they think are assets, but they're really liabilities. That beautiful house with a big mortgage, that brand new car, they don't put a single dime in your pocket. They take money out every single month. So all of this, the assets, the liabilities, the cash flow, it's all building toward the ultimate goal of the rich dad philosophy, which is to totally change your relationship with money itself. This right here is the heart of the entire book. It's about making a shift from being an employee of your money to being the boss of your money. The goal isn't just to get a bigger paycheck. The real goal is to build an army of assets that work for you around the clock so that one day you don't have to. And that's exactly why Rich Dad was so big on learning instead of just earning. I mean, a huge salary with zero financial intelligence, that's just a recipe for going broke faster. But understanding how money actually works, that's real power. It's the one asset nobody can ever take from you, and it's the thing that will keep building wealth for the rest of your life. And so the book leaves us all with one final and really important question we have to ask ourselves. Take a hard look at your own financial life. Is it all about your income statement? How much you earn from your job? Or is it focused on your asset column, how much your money is earning for you? Because according to Robert Kiyosaki, the way you answer that question, well, that's what's going to define your financial future.